Hello, welcome to my channel TEF Canada Tips for written exam or for expression Ecrite. So in this video we will give you some very practical tip of cracking the TEF Canada expression Ecrite exam. So let's begin. We will start with the first task of written expression, which is basically Fait Divers, or in other words, completing a news item. So in this case, you are given one line, single heading title of an event, and you have to complete it with following some around 80 words. So let me tell you how to approach this problem. Basically, the approach would be in two parts. In first part, you have to collect some basic details about that events, and in the second part, you will have to enhance the events by providing some more additional details, which are of two types: static and dynamic. So we'll cover more of this in the next class. So basically, to begin with, to build a response for this kind of tasks, you have to first try to answer some WH questions. So these WH questions are basically like what, when, where, how, why, or who. So this kind of questions you have to first answer. Basically, think on that lines. If you try to answer this kind of question related to that event, then you would be able to build some good story on it, and on that you would be able to complete the task very easily. So this would be your first step, and then your second step would be to enhance by adding more details. Now how can you add more details on them? So basically, first detail type of details that you can add are static details. So these are basically, you can add like if people are involved, and you can just in passing you can mention some people of some age, or the gender of a person or the profession of the person. Then if this event is in some place, then you can mention something about public transport, or you can mention the public park, a neighborhood, some shops, and traffic, and all those kind of details you can just add over there. Similarly, you can add some more details about the timing of that event, like was it during some rush hour, during an holiday, in weekends, the time of the day, the weekday, and all those. So these are small details that you can add, and this way, because the evaluator will evaluate on many topics. So if you add the small details, then they will know that your vocabulary is rich enough, and it will also add to the overall weightage. The report will sound very true, very professional. Apart from this, because this is a news item, so there are dynamic components as well, which are very important to add. And those are two types of basically detail. One is the people reaction, because we know that any news item which could be related to some person or something, they will have some kind of reaction on that. People will have feel something about it. People might be happy, they might be worried, they might be horrified or scared or something. So there will be some kind of people reaction that you can add to that item, as well as some of the action taken by that because of that event. There would be someone might have taken some kind of action, whether it is people themselves, or whether it is the authority or anyone. So some action would have been taken, and that is very important to add it in this Fait Divers. And remember that all of the entire uh, response which should be there, it should always be in passive composite, basically past tense. Something was done, something happened. That is the something that you have, that is the way you have to frame the entire response. So, to begin with, let's quickly take an example, and I will show you how this kind of approach can quickly help you to build a quick response. So, let's take an example. So, there's a simple example which is given simple title, and you have to build on this. She wakes up with a very blue face. The day before, she was in famous pizzeria. So this is the title. In French it would be given to you. Elle se réveillait avec le visage de bleu. La ville était dans un désert connu. So this would be the title that would be given to you. You have to read it, you have to understand it, you have to take out details from them, and you have to build a response, a continuous response from this. So let's follow our approach and we'll see how it can help you to build the response for this. So first are the basic details. So we'll collect first the basic detail. Now in this, from the sentence itself, some of the details were already given to you. So basically, basically it was mentioned that L means the girl or the woman. Uh, so that was a person who is main character in this news item. Then what happened? Basically, her face became blue. So that is something that happened. That's a news item. When it happened, it was it's mentioned that yesterday she had gone to Zealand. That is a central component basically. So it answers you two questions. Some event happened yesterday, and in this area. So and because of that, her face is blue. So since the way the answer, the title was formed, it is important to understand that. So her visit to the peace area yesterday, the day before, is an important key event, and you have to include this in your response. So this is something you have to remember. Now from this you have to again now build some of the other. So four of the WH questions are already answered to you. Now the remaining WH answers you have to imagine yourself and add to your story. So basically the two questions which important questions which are remaining is how and why, like how it happened or why it happened. So here you can just give some assumption. Basically you can take some assumption, like for example here we can assume that maybe there was something in food to which she was particularly allergic, or there was some kind of food poisoning because of which her face became blue. So this kind of information you have to just imagine and add it. So from the basic details, collect some from the text itself, remember them and build on them, and any extra detail you can add from your side. So now we have some basic information already with us on which we can build. We will have to add some more details. So what kind of details could be added? Basically to enhance from static point of view, you can enter just in the passing game mention the age of the person. You can also add some weekday or the time of the day. Basically, since it happened yesterday, that much information is already given to you. But on top of it, you can even add weekday or the time of the day and other information about the place. The pizzeria is already mentioned, so there isn't much anything. And then the story is about the girl's face becoming blue, so you have to concentrate on the food poisoning, her allergic reaction, and what happened after that. So those are the details you have to concentrate on. So in the dynamic component, basically we will talk about the reaction. Obviously, the person would be horrified because her face became blue. So she was horrified. And the second action is something like you can say, obviously, when somebody face becomes blue, they will rush to the emergency room, and the authorities might take some kind of action, like they might close the restaurant temporarily, or maybe if for serious cases they might even arrest the owner or something, or ban the place altogether. So that depends on the severity. So you have to understand the severity of the situation, and accordingly you have to make up the reaction as well as action component. So with all these details, I have prepared one sample. I have one sample with me, and I'll show you both the French version as well as the English version. So you can read it here. I have provided here the both of the versions, the French as well as its rough English translation from Google Translate. That should help you to understand. Basically, here you can see that we have like the details, like there is this person, her age is mentioned in passing. There is other information like it happened on Saturday morning. We have mentioned this. So this helps you, instead of writing very simple sentences, by adding some phrases like this, you're able to write a complex sentence. And writing complex sentences are important testing, criteria for the examiner. So you have to frame these complex questions by adding these small details. So like you mentioned, the age is mentioned, the time of the day is mentioned. Then we have that the action which she had taken, she had rushed to the emergency room. Then they had included some of the details related to that because why her face became blue, what happened after that, and what happened in the emergency room, that was covered. In the second paragraph, we have, the how part, like exactly what happened, basically the connection between the two phrases which was there, like she had suffered from some kind of intoxication, and because of that her face became blue. And the last section is from the authorities itself. They have temporarily suspended the activities. So this way you have described this event almost completely. You have described the person, you have described the situation, you have described the action taken. So it's clearly, I think it's definitely more than 80 words, but in short it explains the news item very well. And this way you can build your response quickly and in a complex way. These points will help you to build a very good response. So thank you. That's it for today's video. We will come up with more such tips in future. So please do like, share, and subscribe our channel. So thank you. Thank you very much.